This week, rebuilding the image of football in South Africa, developments of coaches and different structures have been highlighted on the agenda for the newly appointed SAFA President Danny Jordaan. Jordaan became the 6th SAFA President after beating Mandla Shoes Mazibuko by 162 votes to 88 this past weekend. He's already started the job in earnest with the mark of football longevity, and that's with development. Jordaan now joins us in the studio. Danny, thank you very much and congratulations on the new position.
Thank you very much. And
what exactly does it mean to you to now be the president?
I think we have huge challenges. As I said yesterday, the under-17 team didn't qualify for the World Cup. The under-20 team didn't qualify for the World Cup. The under-23 didn't qualify for the Olympics. The senior team didn't qualify for the Olympics. And so it must indicate that we have to start a rebuilding process that will ensure success at our junior national teams and then ultimately Bafana Bafana.
Part of this is the development, which is something that I mentioned in the intro, and you've already started just days into the job and you've signed a deal for a brand new academy in KZN. Yes,
before the elections we started talking to the KZN, provincial government, local government, the city of eThekwini, and IEC. And we said immediately after the elections we should take up this matter and make sure that that project becomes a reality. And I'm very happy yesterday at the Soccer X conference, the Minister Mbalula joined us and announced the plans, and it's going to be a spectacular building. It's going to be state-of-the-art and measure up with the best in the world. And I think it is those kind of centers that will help us to produce the players that can compete internationally.
You guys are expecting to open the doors of the academy in KZN by the end of 2014. How many boys and are there girls that are going to be also catered for at the academy?
Yes, I think the first thing that we have to do is to sit down with the city and the province and IEC and conclude the contractual agreement and then have the sword turning ceremony, and after that it will take about 12 months to complete the construction. The question of who enters the academy, yes, we want both boys and girls. It must be a comprehensive approach, not just for football, but football and education, as well as dealing with the medical and scientific side of football development. That has been an omission, and very often we find that our players lack the nutritional side and just the physical developmental side, and this academy will ensure that we'll have players that can compete from the youth level internationally.
How many kids are you looking to cater for with that one academy?
Well, that is a technical detail that the management and the technical staff there will decide on. There will be a technical director together with coaches that will go out and look at the different leagues, look at the schools and identify the talent and then decide on placement.
All right. That is one priority, development of our young players, to ensure that we have the pool for Bafana coaches then to choose from. What are some of the other top priorities? If you could list them as 1, 2 and 3 for you over the next year, what are you focusing on?
Well, if that is the building of the school and putting the kids in the school, the second question that you must ask now, do you have the teachers? In football terms, do you have the coaches? And the question to that answer is no. Even reaching the targets. In the plans, the plan is to train 10,000 coaches a year. If we want to catch up with all of the major countries in the world, with a ratio of 20 players per coach. And last year, we only had 464 persons attending coaching clinics, of which 102 dropped out, and just over 300 completed the courses. But the second problem is that only 4 out of the more than 360 completed the B license, no one the A license. And if you look at South Africa versus Spain, Spain has 12,000 coaches with an A license. South Africa can hardly muster 300. So there's a huge gap in the qualified coaching staff to ensure that these players will be able to compete internationally. So that's the second big challenge. Of course, the other challenge is about an image makeover, a rebranding of SAFA, dealing with the commercial challenges, financial challenges that there. So it's a huge challenge, but we're already starting to work.
When you speak about the plans that you guys have got in terms of development, those are going to bear fruits in many years to come. You're laying the foundation that many say should have already been there. But the fruits that are going to be born are only going to be born in, a while still to come. When it comes to immediately, that would be the image, the finances, and many people speaking about the quality of refereeing.
Yeah.
As SAFA, what are you guys planning to do on that front?
No, I think that question too, not only must we have quality referees, but we must also have referees that give the confidence that when the team walks off the field, that we won or we lost because we were the better team on the day and for no other reasons. And therefore, we'll have to look closely at this matter as well and ensure that the referees must understand that they have a key role in football today. This is a question worldwide, that referees must be also men and women of integrity and ensure that they apply the rules without fear or favor. Because it is only in football where you can walk onto the field and 10 minutes later you can walk off with 5 or 10 million. And in the Champions League, the prize money is even bigger. So the person with the whistle determines whether the $10 million goes to Team A or to Team B in very many circumstances. And so it is a huge responsibility that the referees carry. So, and we will have to give more support to the referees.
Would you guys look at maybe creating a more accessible, more comprehensive review committee for the referees?
Yeah, we'll have to do all of those things, but also give the referees better service. The referees are often neglected, and I don't think we've taken enough care of referees. That they must feel there's organizational support for them, but they need to do an objective, fair job every weekend in every 90 minutes that they take care of.
And then how do you go about regaining the confidence of the public and rebuilding this image of football, a country that is only one of 18 federations around the world to have hosted the World Cup?
Well, we said already that if you look at the other World Cup hosts, if you look at United States, perhaps we should look at United States. In 1994, when they hosted the World Cup, they were not a strong nation in football terms. Since '98, they've qualified for every single World Cup, and so did Japan, and so did Korea. The odd one out is South Africa, and therefore we have a huge job to fix it. And it's going to take a lot of work, but we also know that in the interim, while South Africans will wait for the building of successful team, they want also success in the interim. And so we'll have to look at both a long-term plan and a short, immediate-term plan. What is it that we can do to ensure that our team qualifies for Morocco, African Cup of Nations 2015? How do we qualify for Rio 2016 Olympics? And then see whether we can qualify for Russia 2018. But also the Banyana is an important part of our plan. And so we have to strengthen women's football in this country. As you know, we have 3 women on our national executive. They bring huge experience, and I'm sure they will help to strengthen women's football as well.
Danny, I want to speak to you on a personal level now, because I'm sure the congratulations have been pouring in for you. But you, as a South African, are definitely a globally recognized sporting administrator. Now, finally, the president of our National Football Association. What does the position mean for you?
Well, the positions come at a time when I think South Africa faces its biggest challenge. So I I'm going to focus on the job at hand. And we have a very strong executive. We're going to meet and chart the way forward in very clear and precise terms. And then translate that to the administration who must deliver. Because we cannot talk as administrators and not take care of the key targets to be achieved, one of which I've just indicated to you. In the plans, there is an indication that we must produce 10,000 coaches a year. In actual fact, we've trained 360 coaches, all of them, or majority of them, doing the introductory course and not delivering at the high end of coach requirements. So those are the issues that between our talking and planning and the execution, there must be a realistic link, and we must monitor that to ensure that it happens.
The other thing that is on the agenda, and that is one of the things that I'm sure has formed a part of your priority list, is looking at the PSL and the relations between PSL and SAFA. It's all too often that we have a national coach announcing a team, and all of a sudden this question of club versus country comes up.
Yes, I think that that is a matter that we have to take very seriously. But I already said that the question of the international calendar is a problem not between SAFA and the PSL. Both SAFA and PSL must recognize that no one on the African continent makes input in determining the dates on the international calendar. That is determined in an agreement between the European Club Association, which is the 253 professional clubs, the Bayern Munichs, Real Madrids, and UEFA. And then they go to FIFA and ask FIFA to endorse it as an international calendar. And I ask the PSL and the African professional clubs, where is your input? So we are going to address that issue so that when we have the international calendar, that the main dates of PSL is taken into account and the program of SAFA is taken into account. It is there that we have to, as a collective, engage CAF and FIFA. Otherwise, we will fight amongst ourselves, not realizing that it is the determination of the dates in the first place by institutions outside ourselves, and we have no input. The second thing is we have to engage the PSL, because when you start at regional level, you end up in top professional clubs, and therefore that relationship must be strong. And finally, the professional clubs themselves must have strong junior teams. If you go to Bayern Munich or Barcelona, Messi starts in the junior ranks in the Barcelona club. So our clubs too must work with us to strengthen development in those clubs. And it's a conversation that we'll have with the PSL.
Yeah, it certainly is, because the South African footballing landscape is certainly a different one to that which we see in Europe. Danny, thank you very much. I'm sure we can speak footballing matters for another hour. Thank you very much, and all the best of luck in your new position as President of the South African Football Association.
Thank you very much.